Hi, everybody. I'm Ray with 8base, and I'm here with Andres Pineda. Andres, thanks for sitting and talking with me.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, who you work for, and what you do?
Yeah, sure. My name is Andres Pineda, as my friend here just said. I'm currently working as a senior software developer for Shopify. There at Shopify, I'm working as mostly on the front, on the bringing a good experience for the checkouts, more specifically. Aside from working also on the community side, I'm also collaborating with different communities. .NET community back in Dominican Republic doing it online, and Python community in whole Latin America. We have the PyCon Latam conferences that is going to happen in a few months from now. So yeah, anything that is community, sign me in. I'm going to be there.
So you're an engineer right now, but developer advocacy sounds like something you might be interested in.
It's something I liked.
Yeah.
Honestly, last year I was thinking about, because I enjoy being in conference, I enjoy talking to people, I enjoy presentations, and that's all that DevRel does, developer relations. But unfortunately, due to all the layoffs that were started happening, I noticed that the DevRel position was one of the that usually got more impacted. So I decided to keep myself in, I don't want to say relevant, because DevRel, we know, I love you all, DevRel. I have a lot of the friends. We know that not many companies understand the value of the position, and usually they want, that's the position that they retire the first.
I see what you mean. Yeah, no, I'm very lucky with 8base. When I was hired on at 8base, one of the reasons why I did is because they have a solid understanding of what developer advocacy is and what it brings to the company.
That's really nice, and kudos to you and the company.
Yeah, very much. So I noticed that this is your first time speaking at ConFoo, but you're doing 2 talks.
Yes.
That must be very exciting.
It is exciting, and I was telling earlier this morning to my partner, like my wife, I'm not doing that anymore. It is stressful when you have 2 presentations, but I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun. Because the reason that I like to do presentations is because I like to talk about things that I'm passionate about. So I will have the opportunity this time to talk about 2 things that I'm passionate about. And if you see my presentations, they're not connected at all. The first one that I have in a couple of hours is going to be Fast API, which is a framework for Python creating web APIs.
Okay.
And for tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about dynamic data for .NET, which is like a library that you can use reactive programming on top of .NET. And so 2 different things, 2 different passions, 2 different things that I love.
Cool. How are you liking the ConFoo conference?
Oh, amazing. I've been able, since yesterday and today, I've been able to meet with and connect with really nice people. I've been connecting with, having nice conversations. And for me, that's the most important of the conference. I participated in only a small few talks, and it's second day already in the afternoon, because I've spent most part of the day of yesterday and today talking to people,
right?
Knowing people. If you come to a conference and if you don't leave with 2, 3, 5 new contacts in your social network, in your SMS, in your phone booth, phone contacts, you did it wrong.
Yeah, I think during the pandemic, this was one of the key things I was missing from making all the conferences virtual, is the fact that you were meeting and networking, and
it's not the same.
It's a critical part to a live conference.
I did it both as an attendee and as a speaker. As a speaker, I need the feedback from them. I need to understand that people are making, I need to make sure that people are understanding what I'm saying. And unfortunately, remote, online, you cannot get that. And as an attendee, you don't get the connection.
Yeah.
You are only listening to a video. It's something that you will watch a YouTube video, like watching any video at any time. So you don't pay all the attention. Something else is that you will try to mix the conference with your life. It's like, I'm working, but I'm listening to the conference. It's not the same.
Right.
We humans, we suck at doing part.
Yeah, no, I get that. So originally you had said that you didn't really have a lot of experience in low-code platforms, but then you started telling me about an avenue that you're going down.
Yeah, so I participate in one open source project. It's called Uno Platform. It's local. It's from Montreal. So Uno Platform is a way to use C# and SAML and build cross-platform applications.
Okay.
So basically, from Uno, you build a Wii application for desktop, and then you can target the same application for different other targets. You can have it targeted for Android, iOS, WASM, WebAssembly, which is my favorite target, though. And a new functionality that we are adding to Uno Platform is that as a designer, you go to Figma and you create all the UIs and all the interactions, all the pages that your users are going to be having on your application. And then you're going to be exporting the UI into the SAML. It's going to be the UI for your application. Okay. So that's low code, because at that time, developers will need to create way less code in order to have the same functionality.
Yeah. Okay, I see. So you're implementing some low code featuring into your project.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's really nice, and people liked it. The way that I see when I'm working is collaboration between designers and developers. Designers know how to do UI and user experience. We developer, we know how to do the code that the designers implement for us.
Right.
But if we are able to get exactly the same design experience that the designer created and make it part of the app, that way we don't need to be guessing. The designer comments, oh, this is not the color that I chose. I chose this color. Or this is too high for that. This is not what I gave you. And Figma has another information. We lose that. You don't.
Right.
There's no back and forth because we are sporting exactly what the designer created on Figma.
That's really cool. So when you're implementing this low code feature, is there anything that you're worried about or that you think the developers are going to have issues with from a low code perspective?
I don't foresee issues. The only thing that we see, because this is as an open source project, I'm one of the maintainer, but there's a whole team behind this. The only thing that we see is product. We are allowing developers to be way more productive, giving them tools and ways to reduce the line of code that we need to ship.
So is there anything while implementing that you were like, we have to make sure that it does this or that it works this way in order to make this easier for developers?
Yeah. There's a lot of conversations like, what do you want to support from the Figma perspective? What information do you want? There are cases like from Figma, one specific case. Whenever you have in the summer world, there's something called styles that you define a set of styles that we're gonna reuse over the different components that use the styles. From the Figma, you have a way to create styles, but exporting those styles into SAML it can be challenging. And those are the challenges that we get. Developers, we get an initial draft of the UI, and in cases where a style is needed, they might need to create it themselves. So it's like a back and forth conversation with the developers until we reach to a point that they're getting everything that they need for that.
So you made sure that developers were a key part of designing this feature so that it's easy for them.
Yeah, there's a discussion where developers can jump in and bring suggestions. And it's an open source project, but we try to do as much as we can.
Cool. It's awesome. So let's say you work at Shopify. Let's say at Shopify, your manager or your director came to you one day and was like, listen, we're gonna use low code internally in order to build our stuff. What would your initial thought be?
I have used it already, and I know it does the work. Low code doesn't mean that there is no code. It means that the code is being done somewhere else, not by the team implementing it. My concern would be like what kind of technologies are we bringing in? What type of solutions? What the history behind those solutions? Support. Because at the time you might be locking yourself for a provider when you bring in low code or no code. And those will be the types of considerations that I would have. Than anything is that I've been long enough in the industry to know that many technologies have come and many others have gone. I can give you a list and we won't finish. So yeah, just making sure that the type of libraries or framework that we're bringing into our company, to the product, is we have a way to keep getting support. If it is open source, if we can be part of the rolling of new features, and how's the conversations, how the maintainers or the owners, if it is paid, if it is closed source, those type of things.
Okay, so it sounds like transparency is a key one because you want to know what technologies you're working with. Support is a key one, and longevity is really what's important. Cool. Thanks for coming and having a chat with me. Is there anything that you'd like to promote to the audience? Anything that you want to say?
Yes. This is my first time in ConFoo as a speaker, as an attendee, and I'm impressed with the quality of the conferences, the quality of the talks, the quality of the presentations, the people, the speakers. The organizers did a very good job, like bringing the right people to be there, but also the people around. When I saw 700 people, I was like, this is incredible, the number of people that we have. So if you're watching this in the future, and this is already pre-recorded, so I want to invite you. So whenever you hear ConFoo, if you were not part of this conference this year, I incredible believe that you shouldn't miss it next year. This is a great experience for me, and I know that everyone has been asking about what's been the experience so far. They're happy. So I believe that you're going to be happy too.
Perfect. All right. I couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for coming out.